In the latest TDS update came the new Assassin Tower, and in today's video, I will be reviewing the Assassin's stats, uses, and lastly, is it worth buying? And in the end, I will be giving my personal thoughts on it. So let's get started. First off, the Assassin Tower costs only 800 coins in the shop, now in-game. At level 0, it costs $300 to place down. It deals 2 damage, has a fire rate of 0.75, a range of 5.5, and a DPS of 2.65. At level 1, titled CQC Training, for a price of $150, his damage and range both increase by 1, and now has a DPS of 4. At level 2, titled Advanced Hand-to-Hand Training, for a price of $600, his damage increases by 5, now dealing 8 per swing. His fire rate decreases to 0.6. He now has hidden detection, has a DPS of 13.15, and finally, he now gains Whirlwind Slash. The Whirlwind Slash is a splash damage ability that makes the assassin spin around his knife around dealing damage to any enemy that gets in its range and is activated every 3rd swing. It deals 8 damage and has a range of 6. At level 3, titled Upgraded Blades, for a price of 1.5k, he now deals 18 damage for both his Whirlwind and regular Slash, and now has a DPS of 29.6. Lastly, at max level titled Black Ops, for a price of 4.25k, he now deals 30 damage for both his Whirlwind and regular Slash, his fire rate decreases to 0.5, his range increases to 7 as well for the Whirlwind Slash, now has a DPS of 74. But finally, he gains another ability called Fan of Knives. The Fan of Knives lets the assassin throw 3 knives every time he deals 150 damage, that deal 25 damage each. It has a range of 10 and can pierce up to 3 enemies. Now that's all the stats for each of his upgrades, but how good is the assassin itself? Well, it's an early game tower. I'd say on the easier modes, it gets the job fairly done and its abilities make it a decent crowd control tower, and it can even clear mid-game bosses when spammed. However, that's pretty much all it's good at. This tower is only primarily good at the early game for modes easy to molten. It's pretty much almost useless in modes like Fallen. I wouldn't recommend spamming them in the mid-game since it's way more efficient to invest into DPS and support towers. Overall, the pros of this tower are that its abilities make it a bit reliable in the early to mid-game. But the cons are pretty much it's useless in any modes past Molten and becomes useless easily in the late game. I'd say this tower is fairly at the same level with the Gladiator. Now finally, with all of that out of the way, should you use this tower? I mean, it only costs $800. And if you really want to use a melee tower for the early game as a beginner, go for it, I guess. But in my opinion, you are way better off buying other early game towers that are way more reliable for early game and can even be used in Fallen mode such as the Militant, Shotgunner, and Trapper. Which is why I'm giving this tower a 5.5 out of 10 and a solid D tier. And with that, that's my final review on the Assassin Tower. If you disagree with my opinion, leave yours down in the comments. Now, I know this was a very short video. It's also been a long time since I uploaded, but I am currently starting to edit my next video. I'm hopefully planning to finish it before school starts. Subscribe and like this video if you want to, of course. But until then, I will see you guys soon. Bye.